Hello there and welcome back to Life Balance Radio. Today we're going to be doing something special. I'm going to be explaining my Life Triad System. This is my kind of pièce de résistance, right? This is the thing that I've put together, my system, my core system for having an amazing life. Listen in. So, the big question is this: how are successful professionals like us going to find life balance with all of the pressures, distractions, and obligations constantly trying to pull us in different directions? And how can we have the success we want and yet still have a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. I'm Dan Gentry, and welcome to Life Balance Radio. All right, so years back, and if you've listened to my origin story, you've heard a little bit about this. But years ago, I was working myself to death. Was literally working myself to death. I mean, I used to have hair, the whole bit, right? I was working crazy hours until basically my life blew up. Right? My entire life was shattered. Went through just a really, really traumatic time. Basically divorce, layoff, and the death of a parent in a 3-month period. It was just, it was terrible. And I had to kind of put my life back together. And, the way I've explained it, it was like a 1,000,000-piece jigsaw puzzle that I had to figure out how do I do this? How do I put myself back together? And through a lot of study, I had been studying self-improvement stuff for years, and so I knew some of the right principles and the right tactics and all of that, but never really found a way to bring it together into kind of a cohesive whole. And now I had the opportunity. you can spin it in such a way, it wasn't a traumatic time, it was an opportunity for rebirth, right? They say that, trials and tribulations give you character, and most people who know me probably figure I'm enough of a character already. But anyway, I had the opportunity to really rebuild my life, and I wanted to do it in a way that was sustainable, in a way that I wouldn't have to repeat the errors that I had made. I did not want to go back to working myself to death and not paying attention to my life. I wanted to make sure that I was going to have a good life, not just, or a great life, not just a good life, right? I wasn't going to be solely focused on one thing. So I went on my search for my pattern, right? And if you remember from episode number 2, the Atomic Triad, I found the pattern that everything is based off of, and that's everything has a foundation piece, everything has a framework piece, and everything has a manifestation. Those are kind of the 3 levels, right? And I talked about life balance and all different aspects. Well, when I turned that concept on, how do you have an amazing life? How do you live your life to the 3rd power? Not just okay, not just good, but great, right? And I came up with my Life Triad. And the foundation of the Life Triad is life balance. Because if your life isn't balanced, it's going to be rocky. I think if you've probably done any kind of coaching or anything like that, there's the wheel of life where you kind of grade yourself in all the different areas of life, and that kind of becomes the wheel that your life spins on. Well, if your life isn't balanced, you've got a misshapen wheel, and it's going to be a very bumpy ride, right? In order to have a car that runs smoothly, you have to have well-balanced tires, right? That's the foundation that the car sits on. As the same thing it is with your life. You need to have a reasonably balanced life. There's always going to be imbalances, and I'll get to that in a later episode when I talk about the life balance triad. But in general, you need to have your life orderly and harmony figured out. Maybe not life balance, life harmony, right? But you have to have that life balance figured out. And that's the foundation that you build your life upon. And if that's messed up, if your relationships are not great, if your finances are not great, if your health and your wellness is not great, you're going to have a hard time having a great life. Can we agree on that? Right? So that's our foundation piece, is life balance. That's what we need to build upon. Now, the framework part of a phenomenal life is our life map, is what I call it. And it's your goals, your dreams. Where are you going? I remember hearing a statistic many years ago that most people spend more time planning a vacation than they do planning their entire life. And I know there was a period of time where that was true for me, right? I had a plan for work, and I was working hard, and all of that. But really, what did I want out of life? Not so much. I mean, I had some vague goals of, I want a lot of money, I want a big house, so, but never specific roadmap of here's where I'm going with my life, right? No concrete plans. And, when I'm working with people on goal setting, it's all of those pieces. You need to have a clear map of where you're going. That's so critically important. And so I've got a whole life map triad that talks about goal setting and how to do that. I'm sure I'll touch on that in another another podcast. That's a whole subject for a whole day seminar right there. Okay, but you have to have that framework for your life, because you've got your foundation, your life balance, and now where are you taking it, right? And that leads to what is the manifestation of an incredible life, a life to the third power life? That is your life legacy, and that's your purpose. That's the top of the pyramid, right? Why are you here? What's your purpose? I'm a firm believer that we were all given a gift, and that we all have at least one purpose, one thing that we can do, that we can make a difference in the world and be of service, right? For me, it's about helping people like you find life balance and help make the song Cats in the Cradle not a song about anybody. It's being a great father, a great parent, right? To break the cycle of overwork and disconnection in a family. That's my legacy. That's my purpose. That's why I do what I do, and why I'm so passionate about what I do. I'm literally trying to change the world, right? I remember in middle school, I had a guidance counselor that pulled me into his office, and he asked me this question: Dan, what does the world owe you? And being 12 or 13, I'm like, well, I don't know, no. And he's like, the world doesn't owe you anything. You owe the world. You were given the gift of life. It's up to you to pay back the world that gift. You have to leave the world a better place. And that is what I'm trying to do. That's my life legacy. That is where my life map is taking me. And that's where, with that strong, balanced, life balance vehicle, following my life map is taking me, right? And this is what the Life Triad is all about having life balance. Have a strong foundation for your life, having clear goals and dreams of what you really want, and a clear destination of what it is your purpose is. What's the legacy that you're going to leave? That's the key to having an amazing, amazing life. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want to help you get. That's why I do this crazy podcast, and all the different things that I'm doing, and the live events and the coaching and all of that stuff. It's to make a difference. I want to make a living while making a difference. That's kind of my deal, right? and I want you to have that too. So anything I can do to help you, please, reach out, contact us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Look up Third Power Performance. On YouTube, Third Power Performance. It's where you can watch this. If you're listening to the audio podcast, you can also get the video of this on my YouTube channel. So I would love it if you would leave a review. If you could take a screenshot of this episode, post it on social media, and hashtag Third Power Life, and tag me in it. That would be amazing. So anyway, I'm super excited that, this is something I am so passionate about, and I'll be going into more depth on all of the different pieces of the Life Triad and the Life Balance Triad, especially on this podcast, going into each of those areas, along with our 99 steps. Hopefully you're keeping up on the steps, having fun with that. And until next time, keep living your life to the third power. Thank you for listening to my podcast. But before you go, would you like to have somebody help you create more balance in your life? Do you have difficulties juggling all of the different things that are pulling on us for our time, for our attention? I have a program that I have just created called the Life Balance Academy. It's a 6-week program, full life balance training, everything that I've been teaching over the past 20 years, consolidated into one 6-week program. This is something that's brand new, and I'm very excited to share with you. If you would like more information about that, you can go to my website at www.thirdpowerperformance.com. Until then, live your life to the third power.